Hello and welcome to What the Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Wednesday, September 29th, 2021. Welcome to day 253. The Senate is expected to vote on Thursday on a short-term spending bill meant to avert a government shutdown and keep the government funded through December 3rd. Democrats and Republicans, however, disagree on language in the House-passed measure regarding Afghan refugee benefits, as well as funding for Israel's Iron Dome defense system. Congress must pass a funding bill before midnight on Thursday in order to avoid a shutdown. The short-term government funding bill does not address raising the debt ceiling in order to prevent a first-ever governmental default. Meanwhile, the House passed a standalone bill meant to lift the debt ceiling, which Senate Republicans are expected to reject. On Monday, Senate Republicans blocked a bill that would have funded the government into December and suspended the debt ceiling until December 2022. A group of moderate House Democrats, meanwhile, threatened to oppose the standalone measure, saying that it was a pointless political maneuver with Senate Republicans firmly opposed. Speaker Nancy Pelosi told reporters, "We have a responsibility to uphold, to lift up the full faith and credit of the United States of America. That's what we have to do." She noted that lawmakers had already voted to raise the debt limit last week when the House passed the spending bill, adding, "If they're concerned about how it might be in an ad, it's already in an ad." Over in the White House, Biden canceled a trip to Chicago to promote COVID-19 vaccinations in order to try and broker a compromise with two moderate Democratic senators who are threatening to sink his economic agenda. In a series of private meetings at the White House, Biden met with Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin in an attempt to salvage the two infrastructure bills. So far, neither Sinema nor Manchin are willing to agree to the top-line cost of the proposed $3.5 trillion education, climate, healthcare, and tax plan. That is, until the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package first passes in the House. Manchin released a statement that suggests an agreement on the budget reconciliation package was not even close, saying, "I cannot and will not support trillions in spending or an all-or-nothing approach that ignores the brutal fiscal reality our nation faces." The planned vote on the $1 trillion infrastructure package was already moved from Monday to Thursday after it became clear that there was no House-Senate agreement on the $3.5 trillion bill, which House progressives are demanding that the Senate pass before they'll support the infrastructure proposal. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki described the meetings as constructive and said that they agreed that we are at a pivotal moment and need to continue to work to finalize the path forward. Nancy Pelosi held out on the possibility that the House could delay Thursday's vote on the $1 trillion infrastructure bill, accusing moderate Senate Democrats of completely disrupting the timeline for approving Biden's economic agenda. She added, "We take it one step at a time." Moving on, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol insurrection issued 11 subpoenas to the organizers of the pro-Trump rally outside of the White House that turned into the riot. The committee is seeking documents and testimony as part of its investigation into the insurrection, as well as communications between Trump White House associates and organizers of the Stop the Steal rally, as well as Trump's actions before, during, and after the riot. The subpoenas announced today come a week after the committee issued subpoenas targeting former Defense Department official Kash Patel and advisor Steve Bannon. Trump, meanwhile, plans to sue to block the release of his White House records to the House committee who is investigating the attack on the Capitol. Trump is expected to cite executive privilege in order to block both his White House records, as well as preventing Mark Meadows, Dan Scavino, Steve Bannon, and Kash Patel from testifying to the committee. While Biden holds final authority over whether to shield specific documents, Trump can then file lawsuits in an attempt to block their release. Trump also lost a legal effort to enforce a non-disclosure agreement against Omarosa Manigault-Newman, who wrote a tell-all book about working in the Trump administration. Trump had filed the lawsuit against Manigault-Newman, a former White House aide and former Apprentice star, claiming that she violated a non-disclosure agreement that she signed during the 2016 campaign, which stipulated that she could not reveal private or confidential information about Trump's family, his business, or his personal life. An arbitrator, however, said that the non-disclosure agreement was invalid under New York contract law, and that the terms of the NDA pertaining to confidential information and non-disparagement are vague and unenforceable. Meanwhile, a former Trump White House press secretary accused him of abusing his staff, placating Vladimir Putin, and making sexual comments about a young female press aide. Among the many allegations in her new book, Stephanie Grisham recounts a meeting between Trump and Putin during the G20 summit in Osaka in 2019, where Trump told Putin, "Okay, I'm going to act a little tougher with you for a few minutes, but it's for the cameras, and after they leave, we'll talk. You understand." Grisham also writes that Trump once called her from Air Force One to inform her that his penis was neither small nor shaped like a toadstool, as Stormy Daniels had alleged in her 2018 book. After serving as press secretary, where she never held a televised press briefing with reporters, Grisham worked in Melania Trump's office. And finally, a Trump donor accused one of Trump's longtime top aides of repeatedly groping her and making unwanted sexual comments during a Las Vegas charity event last week. Trishelle Odom said Corey Lewandowski repeatedly touched me inappropriately, said vile and disgusting things to me, stalked me, and made me feel violated and fearful. She added that Corey bragged multiple times about how powerful he is and how he can get anyone elected. 4 first-hand witnesses at the event corroborated Odom's allegations. Odom's husband, John Odom, said that he wanted accountability now from Lewandowski and that they are exploring their legal options to make sure he cannot harm anyone else. Separately, South Dakota Governor Kristi L. Noem dismissed a conservative media outlet's claim that she was having an extramarital affair with Lewandowski, calling the rumors total garbage and a disgusting lie. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditas.